Good morning, I'm Maria from the Richardson Simple Living. Today's Friday, so we're coming with another vlog. Do you know, I've attempted this video about 3 or 4 times so far. Keep getting interrupted. So I'm hoping I can do it now. I thought today we'd just have a quick chat really. I was just going to talk about one of the things I find that people say to me that annoys me about homeschooling. I think most people, for them, they get told, well, what about socialisation for your child? You know, I think that's the one that's most common with a lot of homeschoolers. People all seem to say that to them. Now, I've been quite fortunate. I haven't really had that said to me. One person's only ever said it to me, and I just looked at them like they were cuckoo, you know, because they know me. They're part of our life, and I'm like, are you for real? You know all the things we do and the people we associate with and whatnot. But she doesn't have much time on her own. I think she'd prefer to have a bit of isolation. But no, that seemed a daft question. So we don't really get that question. Nobody's really said that to us. The biggest thing I get, the thing that I really hate, that drives me mad, is people saying, won't get a job when they leave school, you know, not if they're home educated, they've got to be at school to do exams. I'm thinking, well, that's daft, because there's 2 things to that. One, you don't have to be at school to take your exams. You can take them yourself if you're homeschooled. I mean, I can go and do exams, I can go and sit the exams if I want. Just the difference is you've got to pay for them, obviously, if you're not at school. That's the only difference. But nobody ever mentions that. Nobody ever says, oh, you'll have to pay for your exams, you know. They don't say that. They just says, oh, they won't get a job if they haven't got any exams, haven't done their exams. And so, you know, so there's that aspect to it. Of course you can. Plus, as well, you don't always need exams to get a job. I know more people that haven't got exams, that have got perfectly good jobs, than I know people that have taken loads and loads of exams. And I know people who've taken lots of exams, got A-levels and things like that, and they're working alongside people who've not either not been able to pass their exams or not got very good results or not done them at all. And they're working side by side alongside each other. So, you know, I think, and it's surprising how many people say that to me. Oh, what about Sean? When she leaves school, she won't be able to get a job. And if she's not been to school, not done her exams, you know, and I'm thinking, because I mean, like, for example, the exams, I've touched on this before. I haven't looked a great deal into doing GCSEs because Sean says she doesn't want to do them. But everybody knows you can do them. You know, you can do online these iGCSEs. Got to think about that before I say it. All them letters. But yeah, you can do them online. The only difference with exams, doing it yourself, is that if you do coursework, you've got to find somebody who can mark the coursework. So I assume that will cost as well, separately. Unless it comes in as part of the exam, I don't know, but I've not looked into it too greatly, but it does sound a bit like a separate thing, like you've got to go and find somebody to assess your child's coursework. And then, of course, you've got to pay to sit the exam and find a centre that will take you in to do the exam. So it's not impossible. I think IGCSEs, I think they can be done online, but you perhaps still have to find someone to assess your coursework. I'm not absolutely sure. I did read it briefly, but it was a long time ago. I read it, I think, when I was thinking of keeping Sean home during her secondary years. And I briefly looked at it then. I thought, oh, I can look at it in depth later on when it matters. But at the moment it doesn't matter because Sean says she doesn't want to do exams. So yeah. But on the other hand, if you don't want to do exams, that doesn't mean you won't get a job. I mean, there's plenty of people who've sat exams and unfortunately haven't achieved what they wanted to achieve. And there's people who've sat exams who didn't want to sit exams because they've gone for a school and had to do it. And, you know, got ungraded, things like that. I know people like that, but they've still got jobs. They're still earning money, still putting a roof over their head and food on the table. You know, that's a good thing. That's a good thing to do. So I hate that. That saying when people say to you, oh, she won't get a job because she's homeschooled. Well, of course she'll get a job. And it doesn't mean to say she can't go and get something fantastic if she wants something fantastic. I mean, she could go and sit exams. If she finds a job that she really wants to do and she wants to do it so much, she's willing to sit exams if it needs them. She can do that. Of course she can do that. I can do that. You can do that. Everyone can do that. I mean, people who go to school and pass exams and perhaps don't do a lot with them, and then a bit later in life, they're more focused on what they want to do, and it's probably nothing to do with the exams that they've taken in school. So they go and sit new things and learn things, go to college and learn things, which is entirely nothing to do with what they've been learning at school. And they make a whole new career. I know loads of people who've done that. People are doing it all the time. You know, lots of people, because let's face it, when you're at school and when you leave school, I mean, I know I was the same, you don't know what you want to do. And sometimes the people that have known what they wanted to do, all the people I knew, I don't think they're in them jobs now. The ones that I can think of, they're not in those jobs now. They're in an entirely different career. If you can hear my phone going, that's ka-chinging of eBay. That's a good sound. I apologise for the noise. But yeah, I mean, that is my one hate. I mean, I don't know what your pet hate saying is, but most people seem to get the socialisation, put my teeth in, socialisation thing thrown at them. But I'm quite fortunate I haven't really had that, but I suppose because most people know us and know Sean socialises all the time. So, and because we're a big family, so you can't not do. But mine is, she won't get a job. She can't get a job if she's not been to school and she's not sat any exams. No employer's going to look at her. Well, what if she decides to start her own business and, makes lots of money from that? Not that we're in anything to make lots of money, but, look at Richard Branson, Lord Sugar, people like that. I know everybody doesn't do it, but some do. Some, lots of people start their own businesses. Loads of people start their own businesses. Doesn't have to be anything big and fancy. If it's bringing you a wage in each week and paying your bills, There's so much out there, though. There's so much you can do. You just got to want to do it. There is so much out there that you can do to earn a living when you're older. There's so much training out there if they want to go and train for things. The exams are never going to go away. They're still going to be out there no matter what age they are. So we could pay for Sean to do exams anytime she wants to, or she pay for them herself if she wants certain things when she's older. I mean, I don't think she will, but who knows? I don't know. She doesn't know yet. That really does get to me, though. I mean, I feel like and the best of it is some of the people who say it to you are people you know full well who've never had any exams or haven't got any, and they've got jobs, and I'm thinking, listen to what you're saying. But it's just that thing that you have to be in school to achieve these things. If you're not in school, they're not achievable. But that's because schools make you think that, don't they? And the government makes you think that. And they've got it into your head that, you've got to go to school, you've got to do all these exams, you've got to get these jobs to earn all this money so you can pay your taxes and put it back to the government. That's all they want you on this wheel, this rat race, this hamster wheel going round and round and round, chasing your own tail and never getting anywhere. Well, no thanks, jump off that wheel. They don't like you to think for yourself or be able to achieve things in your way. It's got to be a set way, and then society thinks it has to be that way. Well, it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way. Stop and think for yourself, you don't have to be in school, you don't have to sit for exams, and that doesn't mean that you are going to be on the streets and jobless. That doesn't mean that at all. You can do anything you want to do. I'm a big believer in any time in your life, anything you want to do, you can do it. You can do it. You know, there's no such thing as you can't. I sound like my mum now. Who always said I never sound like her. She always says to me, there's no such thing as can't. But it's true. When you sit down and you get older and you think about these things, it's true. There's no such thing as you can't do something. You can do anything you want to achieve is achievable. So whether you're at school or whether you're homeschooled, whatever you do, whether you're a fully grown adult and, you know, you think, oh, it's time for a change, you can do anything. You don't need to be told what to do by the schools and the governments and things like that. You know, you can do what you want to do, because if you're following something you want to do, you'll achieve great things. You'll be happy, you'll be healthy because you're happy, and you'll be able to achieve because it's what you're interested in and what you want to do. So yeah, that's quite a speech, wasn't it, for saying I'm only talking about my pet hate. What people say to me when homeschooling, what they say about homeschooling, when they find out she's homeschooled. What about a job when she leaves school? Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's not true that because your children are homeschooled or because they don't want to take exams that they're not going to get a job. Of course they'll get a job. You know, as they get older, they'll think about what they want to do and start gearing towards what they want to do. It doesn't mean it might not be at 16 or 18. It might be a bit older than that. They might go do something in between and, you know, later in life decide what they want to do. So yeah, I thought I'd just come on and say, but I got a bit carried away there, didn't I? I always do. But yeah, that's my pet hate. That's the one thing that people keep saying to me, and I just shake my head. Just shake my head, because well, I mean, I've got children who went through school, and one of them's got no qualifications at all because he's got ADHD, and he went to a different school from the normal mainstream schools, what he calls a naughty boy school. But it was different. It was tailored to children with problems and special needs, and he's got no exams at all, and he can't read and write brilliantly. But you know, you set a blueprint in front of him, because he's been working in the building trade, he's a panel erector and that. Give him the blueprints and he can read them blueprints and build that building to a T. But yet, if you were at school, they were saying to you, oh, to do that job, you're going to need this GCSE, you're going to need that GCSE. You might need an O-level thrown in, and you'll have to go to college for so many years. He's done none of that, none of that. Like I say, he didn't even go to mainstream school. He went to a special school, and he didn't do any of that. Sometimes it's who you know as well, and they give you opportunities, and that's how Daniel learned that job. And he's good at doing things like that now. He's good at that. I mean, he can't read. If you were to write it all down, he wouldn't make much heads or tails. I mean, he can read, but he wouldn't be able to read it like that to put it all into place. But you set the blueprint down and he could tell you. And if they said what they want doing, he could draw you the blueprint as well. So everybody's different. Never get disheartened if anybody says that to you. So I certainly don't, because I've seen it all, and I know that they can get jobs and things. So it's only if they don't want to. That's when you're tipping them out of bed and get up and go find something to do. But no, that is my thing. I just thought I'd say what my, I said pet hate, isn't that the right thing to say? It's the one thing that really grates me when people say, oh, they won't get a good job, you know. Rubbish. Rubbish. So yeah, that was it for today. Just thought we'd have a quick chat about that, say what I wanted to say. So now it's Friday, weekend's coming up. one more weekend to go until Halloween, then the house will be hectic. I think not this weekend, but the weekend after, they're going to start putting all the decorations out and do like a buffet tea on the actual day, because it's easier when everyone's in and out. So they're all looking forward to that. Today, schoolwork, Sean should have been doing her English book, but she's not so keen on that book, so she's not doing it today. What we thought we'd do is she's going to look up about Dracula, you know, the real story of it. Was it Vlad or something? Vlad the Third or something like that, anyway. So she's going to look up that, going to do some Googling, because she didn't really know anything much about it. And what started her off was yesterday we did a worksheet, a Twinkle worksheet, and it told a story briefly about Dracula. And they got all these words at the bottom. They left words out, and then they got a load of words at the bottom, and you had to put the right words into the missing spaces of the story. So that's what she was doing, and she kept going, well, who's Vlad? Oh, he lived in Romania. She goes, and Romania, whatever. And she's going on like that, and she goes, I don't really know much about this. I said, right then, tomorrow we'll put your English book to one side and we'll do an essay on it, so you can Google it, look him up and write an essay on it and see what you can find out about him. So she likes doing things like that. So there again is an example of a little bit of comprehension from Twinkle, setting her interest off to know something more. What was she doing the other day? Gandhi. She was learning about Gandhi the other day, and she was quite interested in that as well, learning, and afterwards she was looking him up as well. So it's quite good because it leads on to things that she likes doing. So that's what she's going to do today, along with a maths and a Viking workbooks today. She's going to do, and a reading. We're not far off the end of that book now, but she'll have half term next week, but after that, the week after that, then she'll probably finish that book. So we'll give you a review of how we've liked the book. I know Sean likes it, but I've never heard it before, so we'll come back and talk about that little review. And next week, because it's the end of the month, will be the last gardening collab, which Victoria from Home Educating the Mad Lads has hosted. So it seems funny because I haven't really been in the garden much, so it seems strange thinking of going out into the garden, because we want to clear it already. We want to do some raised beds, but it's all full of stuff at the moment. I don't mean growing veg. Well, there's some parsnips and carrots in there, but it's like where he's pulled all the bean bush down and he's just piled them in the middle to all sort of dry out, though it's been rain, so I don't know how it's going to dry out, but I think because there's no room in the bins to put it yet, he's sort of got it all there. So it looks all upside down, and I can't imagine it all with neat little raised beds and whatnot. But we'll get them done sometime. Probably sometime over winter, I don't know. Save all the cardboard first. So yeah, next week there'll be that. I don't know if that'll be on Tuesday though. I'm trying to do it normally right at the end of the month, so that will probably be next Friday's vlog, the gardening collab. So Tuesday we'll come back with something else. I don't know whether I'll show you the history book or whether something's happened over the weekend that I want to have a chat about, or if Sean's doing something really good. And tonight she's going to go and do some crafting, and to do a bit of crafting tonight with a, seems funny saying with a niece, because they were in the same class at school and like they're the same year. But they're going to do some crafting tonight, which is quite good, because I don't really do crafting as such, and she's not always into it, but she doesn't mind doing a bit occasionally. So she's going off tonight to do some at my granddaughter's house. I think they're making some Halloween things. So yeah, perhaps I'll show you that on Tuesday. Depends what she does. I don't know what they're going to do. I know she's taking an empty jar with her, and that's about all I know. So yeah, that's that. So I've got nothing else to tell you. Maybe I'll have more on Tuesday. And so we'll leave it at that. So have a good weekend, everybody, and take care of yourselves, and I'll see you on Tuesday. Bye.